Okay, YouTube, this is Dr. Wanda. I had promised to share Second Hurt. I shared with you a couple of weeks ago about the passing of my friend Howard. Well, 2 weeks before Howard died, a woman who had become my friend named Layna, who is also Ghanaian living in Boston with her family, uh, she had reached out to me some time ago when I did a video about Howard. So she wrote me this letter, and from that letter, our friendship grew. Um, she said, "Hello, Dr. Wanda. My name is Layna. I'm gonna do the best I can with her last name. I think it's Awotwi. It's Awotwi. Okay, but I know her also as Layna Dawson." She says, "I've been a subscriber since my husband told me about you a year and a half ago. I reside in the U.S. in Pennsylvania with my family, husband, and 3 children. My husband is from Cape Coast, and my family is from Toddy. If you may, make time, we can WhatsApp by video call, and I would love to talk to you. I myself was diagnosed with stage 3 inflammatory intraductal breast cancer in December 2019, 1 month after giving birth to our youngest child. If I may, I would like to give experience to you and your friend on my path that I took and where I am currently. I can be reached by," she gave me her phone number on the WhatsApp. "Just let me know a time that works for you. Hope to hear from you soon and be of help. Sincerely, Layna." And the title of that email was How Help, because I had done a video where I was sharing some of the issues with Howard and breast cancer and trying to raise money. And I had put my breast salve up and said, "Hey, you can simply go to the store and buy the breast salve, and all the money, all the proceeds would go to help Howard have her, at that time, chemo." And so that's how I came to know Layna. So I talked to Layna quite a bit. We developed a really, really beautiful friendship. I found her to be just a really intelligent woman, a sensitive woman, forward thinking, and very, very strong because she had the same cancer as Howard. She knew the name of it. In Ghana, the Ghanaians hadn't even bothered to tell Howard what her cancer was. But in the U.S., Layna had gotten the benefit of knowing what the cancer was, and she was doing treatment. And the treatment that she ended up taking was actually full removal of the breast. So, with the WhatsApp, we talked quite a bit, and I'm looking for a particular message I want to share from Layna, so be patient with me. But I happened to, I think the last time I talked to her was in March. And Layna was such a bright spirit, a beautiful spirit. She homeschooled her children. In fact, one day she even took the camera and took me all through the school, and I was able to meet her children via technology. Um, and but Layna was always sending me the information to the various doctors that are, or people that even that she had reached out to in order to seek more help, to get more advice about treatment. And she desperately wanted to talk to Howard. They had had like a sort of a cat and mouse exchange where she would call, but then she couldn't take the call and she was busy. But Layna never stopped thinking about her. She never stopped caring about her, um, even as what turns out she was dying. So she was such an intelligent woman and so thoughtful about her approach. And she desperately, one thing that we talked about pretty regularly is that she desperately wanted to come back to Ghana. She was always saying, you know, "I wish I could just come home. I would like to come home." And I was very prayerful and hopeful that that would happen for her. And they were putting as many plans in place in order to make that happen. And unfortunately, for my friend, time ran out. Well, some people you're friends for a lifetime. And so that love is very intense because it's grown over, centuries. And some people you fall in love with immediately. I love this woman. And so I was shocked when I was looking at Facebook and this GoFundMe comes down the stream. And one of the things I hate about Facebook is sometimes it's just this huge obituary, and you have no preparation for what you're about to face at that moment. Not that you ever do, but you just don't. And people are making comments and you're not getting it. And I said, oh my God. Because I hadn't talked to her in a couple of weeks. I had, the last time I had really talked to her, I was donating water. And she she actually sent money towards the towards the project so that I could distribute water. And she did that, and she didn't mention that there was any change. And I haven't learned whether or not this was something that people expected or was last minute, but I can tell you, um, as if I had known her a lifetime, that was a hurt. So I just wanted you to hear a little bit of her voice because I had gotten permission from her to share some of her thought. And the last time I talked to her, she said to me, any word on Howard and how she's faring. That's how lovely Layna was. That even in the middle of a storm, she cared about others. I just want you to hear some of her thought.
Hey, Dr. Wanda. So, yes, I'm right there with you. Um, the one thing that I find myself is, yes, I have my intellect, and it surprises people. Sometimes I think, I don't know what they think. People, we are multifaceted creatures. We are deep thinkers when we want to be within our true selves. We ponder the very thoughts of God. It's like, come on now, stop over simplifying things, and I don't mean it like, I mean like humans. What we tend to do is we like the complexities but not the simplicities, and then vice versa, if you know what I mean. It's like we can't see the simplicities in the cumbersome situations, and we make it tough for ourselves. And then things that we oversimplify, it's actually a little bit more complicated, and it takes just a little deeper thought process. And I don't view intellect as a throne, and I tell you why. Not intellect. I don't view the current knowledge base. True knowledge, yes. But the knowledge that is fleeting and in books, and that you realize you're constantly reestablishing it, and it's really evidence-based practice because we're running off of our human intellect, which is very, very minuscule and a very small scale of things. We have wonderful advancements, but if you look into the past, we were way more advanced than what we are now. It's like we've been dumbed down to the umpteenth. But I really go with gut. And when you're truly listening to that God spark within you, because that never tends to veer you wrong when you being on your utmost and true self. Now let that roll into Howard's situation. I wish I was in her situation, in the sense of still having the choice whether to have the surgery or not, because I would not have had it. If she is serious on her other takes, and I think she has 4 children. I know just having 3, and then all the duties of a wife, and just seeing to anything outside of yourself. And I can't imagine being in Ghana and, really struggling, how that would play on her body, because you can do the one aspect, which is to go the holistic route, try to do it that way. But when you have all these other things going on, such as your mental well-being, your spiritual well-being, and you're not really seeing to that, your sleep pattern. Myself, right now, I'm really in a struggle. My husband's like, you must calm down. I was like, it's hard for me. I said, I'm so anxious. I was like crying last night. I said, I just want to go home. I said, I hate it here now. I said, I just want to go home. Because the simplicity, yes, Ghana could be hard, but the simplicity will allow you to rest for me to heal. Yes. I am so wound up at times here. I feel my body on fire. If I am not strictly fruit, I can feel the inflammation. And that is the biggest thing. And when you've had the surgery, your body is trying to overcome and get rid of stuff through avenues that are not created. Yeah. So I have my underarm that they took out my lymph nodes, not only removed my breast, but my lymph nodes. And if I'm in a bad way, if I eat wrong, I just get straight inflammation, swelling, pain down my arm. My arm gets edematous. It's not fun.
Right.
And I do have the bigger concept of it manifesting itself all over the place, which I do have another nodule on my neck. Now, chemo, it's again fighting fire with fire. Exactly. So you can't like half bake it. You cannot take things and expect everything to work for you. You do have to take that control in your hands and really go full force, which I have struggled with the last year and almost half. And now I'm just tired. I'm like, no, I just cannot. I'm just gotta go forward with it. I'll be reaching out to Dr. Morse again because Yaki, he's in a lot of different things right now. And the first time I reached out to Yaki, it took him over a month to get back to me for just a consultation. And then we were playing phone tag. So I was a little bit irritated. But I'll let you go. My husband's calling.
That was my beautiful, brilliant, thoughtful, intelligent friend. My last message, even in the last message, she's teaching and sharing so deeply. She's even made me think so heavily about the way I treat my breasts, the things I'm feeling, whether it's premenstrual, premenopausal, what to take serious. She says she can't imagine being in Ghana, but she understands that the simplicity of life in Ghana will at least allow you to rest. I miss my home in the U.S. There's various things I miss, and there's been a lot of stressors here. But I do rest in Ghana. I'm not always ripping and running. I'm not over here, over there. I'm not overtaxed. When I left the U.S., I was working 3 jobs. I was teaching at the university on the weekends. I was doing elder care twice a week, and then I was working for Family Dollar. You don't get a PhD to act like you a beginning actor in Hollywood and you're working all these different gigs until you get discovered. That's not what that terminal degree is for. And it was exhausting for me. I was doing it. I could do it. We can all use stress as fuel. The reality is, cancer loves stress. It loves stress and it loves processed sugar. So she talked about, long as she was fruit-based, her body felt pretty good. But she was a healthy woman like me, and she had a full palate. Like she was a mom, and she's cooking, and she's about, and she was a nurse. She also was busy. Um, yeah, and but she was dealing with that challenge, and she's also dealing with the reality that the breast had been removed. Something that toward the end, Hawa, even from the beginning to the end, even though the chemo had annihilated the breast, was firm. She still wanted the breast. She didn't want the breast to go. And there's this attitude among doctors that these are in exchange, like we can take these parts off and they're not parts of our identity, that it doesn't affect our womanness, our spirit, but it does. It actually does. I miss that beautiful mind. I miss that I could have those deep intellectual talks with her, and then we could just talk as women. I miss that. I miss that a spirit like that is not in this universe, and I'm prayerful. She had little girls. I'm prayerful that those daughters have picked up so much of her that somehow, some way, we'll meet again. But that was my other hurt, that it took the breath out of me in a lot of ways. Short friendship, but I can tell you I knew her from a million years ago. We just met again in 2021 through an incident with another friend that drew us, and we began that conversation, and it just never stopped. So I'm gonna sign off here, and take care of your body, Take care of your breast. Take care of your mind, your breast if you're a woman. And I'm going to be honest with you, your breast if you're a man. Men are showing up with huge cases of breast cancer, and we have not figured it all out. And that's it.